My name's Elaine Kukan. I've lived in this community my whole life. My parents bought this house when I was 2 years old, so I've been living here for over 41 years. I'm not very much of a community person. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have my little son to take care of, and yeah, that's about it. I help who I can. If the community needs help, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
But
this is very interesting.
What happened?
Elaine, this is very interesting because I think this is actually really important, because I know why Munira found you on social media and why she suggested that we speak to you, and I actually quite like the fact that you're not necessarily some sort of activist or some sort of somebody who runs a community organization. You're just somebody who's from the community, who's been there for many years, and who was just really concerned about what's happened over the last couple of weeks. So just tell us a little bit more about what made you do what you decided to do, and for the audience who don't know, what is it that you actually decided to do once you saw what was going on?
After the whole Sunday night, Tuesday drama, I was sitting here in my room with my husband, and I was like, I still couldn't get over what happened to the complex, and I kept on watching videos and pictures, and I was like devastated, because that was our shopping center. Our parents shop there, our friends, family, our kids, my mom's grandkids, everybody. That was our, you could say, our second home, so to say. And I remember telling my husband, tomorrow I'm going to clean gulams, and his response was, but it's not safe. And I told him that whether it's safe or not, in my heart, I need to do this. I said, you haven't lived here. Sorry about the tears.
Oh, it's okay.
You haven't lived here as long as I have, and this area means a lot to me. So on Wednesday morning, I woke up. I don't even think my husband took me that serious, because with all that's happening around, he didn't take me that serious. So I woke up and I was like, I put it on my WhatsApp status to say, guys, I'm going to Glams. If anyone wants to join me, you're more than welcome to. But this is what I'm going to do. All you'll need to do is carry gloves. And I packed in a rake, a broom, a spade, a slasher, whatever. I said, whatever I need, sanitizer, gloves, bin bags. And I jumped into my car and I drove. It wasn't a nice sight. I think the 10, 15 minutes I just spent crying.
Sure.
Because I didn't expect it to be that bad. Images don't really show you much of what you actually see in real life. At one point, I was like really angry. I felt that, so much has been done, and you guys are still coming and ripping off the copper and stealing the shelvings. And I even spoke to a few of them. I was like, guys, you guys have been car guards here. I've seen y'all here. You've been begging, Auntie, please give me 5 rand for food. I know you'll go down to the bottom and smoke, but why are y'all doing this? Do you know how much more it's going to cost the owners to do these stores up, to replace all that you're taking now? And some of them stopped and they listened and ended up helping me to come and start cleaning. And so on Thursday, my husband joined me, because now he was a bit frightened after the night before's drama.
Right.
So he's like, no, you can't. The tension between Zwelisha Township wanting to come in. I don't know if you heard about it, but there was gunshots and bodies and towards the Palmview area. And I was heartbroken, because all my hard work from the day before felt ruined. Because during the course of the night, these guys came in and looted the stores again for like shelvings and wire and whatever, and left a mess again. One of our school friends, she also works for Rawson's property. She came through with her daughter to help clean up, and it was just the four of us that basically cleaned almost everything in the front of the stores.
Right.
And I started first with helping the Pakistani people to clear out their store. They were there to clear out their store. And on Friday as well, the owner, Gulams, they was there to clean with their staff, trying to sort out their store and clean out and whatever. So until more volunteers came. And by the end of Friday, everything that I wanted to accomplish when I set out to do this was done. I wish I had the finances to do more, but I couldn't. And with the owners not being around, there's not much you can do.
Right. So can Elaine, if I can ask you one other question, because I'm thinking about you decided after one of the first days of looting to decide the next day I'm gonna go out and do a cleanup, right? I'm gonna get involved and do something now. What made you do that? Because the average person would probably have looked at the situation and said, number one, it's too dangerous. I'm not going to go out and do anything because I can get hurt. Number two, someone would say, I'm just one person. There's not much that I can do. So why should I even bother? What made you do this?
It's the love for my community. It's the love for the area. And something my parents always taught us when we were little was it only takes one person to make a difference. And if you start it, others would follow. And yes, on the first day, it was just Storm and I, and we cleaned. And people came through in numbers to view what the building looked like. Questioned us as to why we're cleaning, why don't we call the workers to clean, and had a lot of negative comments. But the one thing I took from it all, that as long as we stay negative, life will never be the same again. And from that Wednesday, say Tuesday night, I told my husband, I'm not going to be living in fear. I'm not going to allow negative thoughts to surround me. And this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it. Whether people join me or not, it's fine. Even if it takes me 2 weeks to clean up the complex, I would do it every day. And, Mahavi didn't understand it from my point of view, but he supported me afterwards. And when he got there on Thursday as well, he was he said, I'm only coming to be security, hey? And I was like, okay, no problem.
Right.
And he's like, don't forget to carry the Wi-Fi router because I want to watch my series. But when he got there and he saw the amount of work I did yesterday and how upset I was that all my hard work from yesterday was ruined, he joined in. He just took the broom and he started, and whatever I asked him to help me with, he helped me. And then when Femida and Naif came, it was like, four of us, we was like a cleaning machine. We just went on and we were laughing and then we were joking about it. And like Femida was like, Elaine, who would have ever thought our future would be us cleaning gulams? I was like, life had the surprises. I'm not doing this for fame. I'm not doing this for glory. I'm doing this because I lived here for 42 years and I don't want my district, my hometown to always remind us of this bad week.
Yes.
And
So that brings me to my last question then, Elaine. That brings me to my last question for you. With everything that's happened, the looting, the businesses closing down, the burning of the buildings, you guys doing the cleanup, starting something new and getting people involved, is there any message of hope or lesson that you feel that we can learn from this to help prevent this from happening again?
You know, as much as I could say that hopefully this can be prevented in the future, there is a huge part of me that knows that no, once they've tasted this kind of freedom and lawlessness, I should say, it's going to come back again. And I hope that maybe my message is to the community of the West Ham is let's join in and secure our complex. You know, there's no fencing, there's no proper gates, there's no security. Our complex was the first complex to actually be hit in KZN. And because we got hit on a Sunday night. And I think it would be nice if we could secure the complex just to make sure that something like this never happened. Apart from that, you know, people are still in fear of what's happened last week. A lot of racial tension has been going on, but for me, myself and my family, it's always positive. Think positive, feel positive, you'll have a positive day. So I always, even my son, he's 12, he doesn't know anything about racism, he doesn't know anything about color, he doesn't see the next person as race or color, he just sees there as the next human being. I wish the future generations that come up could learn the same thing. And, you know, let me just say you something. On Monday, when the looters were running past our house and shooting, I was so surprised that almost 80% of them were under 30 or over 15. Why go through such extent? Why risk your life? I mean, there was, I think, around 20 deaths in Phoenix alone from where looters lost their lives. I wish people would stop using the race card because there's no such thing as race. We are the human race. Unless you put human in front of race, there shouldn't be Indian race and rights and stuff like that. People need to think. Change their way of thinking, because if they don't, we as South Africans are going to be stuck in the exact same place.
True.
Come 36 from now.
True.
And it's how you teach your kids, the future generation, how you teach them and how you bring them up, that will be able, then only we'll be able to move forward. If we can get rid of all the hatred and the negativity around us.
Very good point there, Elaine. It is about changing thinking. It's not about the businesses. It's not about the homes. It's not about the areas. It's not about the city. It's not about the infrastructure. It's about our way of thinking. If we're never going to change our way of thinking, nothing's ever really going to change. And the difficulty is that changing one's way of thinking is probably harder than changing anything else. So it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of effort from people such as yourself, from organizations that do work in the communities to try and change perceptions and rid our communities of that idea of racism and separation. It's going to take a lot of work, but I totally agree with you. If we're not going to do that, we're going to walk into this again.